Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillahi wa kafa wa salamun ala ibadihi alladhina istafa amma ba'd. How to pray Eid Salah, what to do at the time of Eid, especially now in the lockdown. A lot of brothers were asking this question. First and foremost, Eid is Sunnah, and we should try our best to pray the Eid Salah, although because of the lockdown, we will not be able to go to the masjids. We will not be able to go to the parks or go out there in large congregation. But the ruling for Eid Salah is exactly the same as the ruling for Jum'ah Salah. For Jum'ah Salah, 4 people are needed to, 4 adult baligh males are needed to perform the Jum'ah Salah. The same will be needed for Eid Salah, 4 adult baligh males including the Imam. So 1 Imam and 3 adult baligh males minimum if you have, you can perform your Eid Salah. Now the question whether can we perform our Eid Salah at home or do we have to be out? In these conditions, Muftiyan, the Muftis of our local Muftis in UK and also in other countries around the world, they have given permission to perform the Eid Salah at home. You can perform in your garden, you can perform in your house. And the incident comes from Hazrat Anas radiallahu anhu, the narration of Bukhari, where Anas radiallahu anhu, he gave permission to his servant who was in Zawiya, who was in a village nearby Medina, and he couldn't come into Medina for Eid Salah. So he said, gather Fajma ahlaka, gather your family members and your banika and your children and perform Eid Salah. Then Ikramah radiallahu anhu says that they will perform the Eid Salah ka ahlil Misri, how the people of the city perform the Eid Salah, and also like how the Imam performs his Eid Salah, meaning wherever you are, and if there's 4 members, adult male members in your family, you can make one the Imam, one of them the Imam, and then you can perform your Eid Salah. The same, sometimes there's 2 adult baligh males in one house, there's 2 adult baligh males in the neighboring house. Then you can go into the garden and standing at a distance of 2 meters, although there's a barrier in between, but that barrier is not so large that will break the Jamaat. So you can stand in that way also and perform your Eid Salah. Appoint 1 Imam, perform your Eid Salah. Now, how would you perform your Eid Salah? The famous way how we do it is the 6 extra takbirs. So basically, you will say your first Allahu Akbar, that is your takbir al-tahrima. Thereafter, you will say Allahu Akbar. So the first time you say Allahu Akbar, you will tie your hands. You will say, read the thana, Subhanakallahumma bihamdika wa tabarak ismuka wa ta'ala jadduka wa la ilaha ghayruk. The second time you say Allahu Akbar, you will drop your hands. The third time you will say Allahu Akbar, you will drop your hands. And the 4th time you will say Allahu Akbar, you tie your hands again, and then you read your Salah as normal. You read Surah Fatiha loudly, then you read another Surah loudly, like how Jum'ah Salah. So after Surah Fatiha, you can read, for example, Inna a'tainaka al-kawthar fasalli li rabbika wanhar inna shaniyaka huwa al-abtar. You go in ruku as normal, sajda as normal, you stand up, and then you carry on as normal. You read Surah Fatiha, you read another surah, for example, Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Then before going into ruku, you're going to say takbir 3 more times. So you say Allahu Akbar, you drop your hands. Then you say Allahu Akbar again, you drop your hands. You say Allahu Akbar for the 3rd time, you drop your hands. Then the 4th time when you say Allahu Akbar, you go into ruku, and then you finish your Salah as normal. In Eid, remember the khutbah is after Eid Salah. It's not before the Eid Salah. Very, very important. Just now we prepare the whole khutbah and we go and do it like Jum'ah. So in Jum'ah, khutbah is before Eid, before Salah, and in Eid, khutbah is after Eid Salah. The khutbah is also sunnah, so if someone who has just done the Salah and they couldn't do the khutbah, then the Salah will also be counted. But it is better to do the khutbah. Inshallah, I'll prepare a short, very short, simple khutbah, and I will leave it in the link below. if you receive this. If you don't receive the link, then just browse onto the channel and you will find the link, inshallah. So how would you perform the Eid khutbah? This was your Eid Salah. I mentioned that you need 4 adult males, 1 imam, 3 at the back, and they should be baligh to. This is the minimum requirement for performing a Jum'ah Salah and Eid Salah. If you have 2 adult males in one house, 2 adult males in another house, you can gather into the garden, and it's preferable if the weather is good, preferable to go into the garden, and you imitate as if you are going to the Eidgah. Obviously, we are on a lockdown with the principles of the lockdown and the measures you take place of the lockdown. There was also a question mentioning about can we have 2 members standing opposite on the roadside and 2 members across on the other side of the road. That generally it will bring a gap in your Jamaat, because the cars will be passing in between, etc. Because it's such a huge gap, a whole car can pass by. It generally will not be regarded as one Jamaat. Yes, the muftis might have given an excuse, etc. But it's better if everyone is on one side of the platform. So even if you have to space out horizontally, but you space out 2 meters, 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter, and you can perform your Eid Salah like that. The imam just have to be 1 step ahead of the others, and you can perform your Eid Salah. You don't need a mimbar for khutbah. You can just use a chair. You can put a chair in your garden. You can sit on your chair at home, and then you can stand up and then start your khutbah. How is the Eid khutbah performed? It's just normal like the Jum'ah khutbah. If you do not do the extra takbeers also is fine, but it is mustahab. It is preferable to do the extra takbeers in the khutbah. What is takbeer? Allahu Akbar. How many times? In the first time you stand up, you will say Allahu Akbar 9 times, and then you will read ayat of the Quran, you will read Durood Sharif and finish your khutbah. The second time when you sit down for 3 seconds, then you stand up again, you will say Takbir Allahu Akbar 5 times or 7 times. 5 times or 7 times. You can even say it up to 14 times in the second khutbah. So Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, walillahi alhamd. You don't have to repeat the whole thing 14 times. You just have to say Allahu Akbar 14 times. Then at the end you can say La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, walillahi alhamd. You can say it 14, you can say it 7, you can say it 5. This is in the second khutbah. In the first khutbah you say it 9 times. Inshallah, I'll prepare the khutbah and leave it in the link below. It will make it easier for you. Once the khutbah is done and then the Eid Salah is over, after Eid Namaz you can do dua as well, like how we normally do dua in our masjids. You can do dua in congregation, and you can ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make dua for me, especially for my family members, for my parents, and make dua for the entire ummah, make dua for hidayat, and make dua that Allah ta'ala remove this calamity from each and every one, so we can all enjoy our Eid Salah correctly. So this was just a brief I've given about Eid Salah. If there's any other questions, inshallah, we will try and answer it in the next coming days. Jazakumullahu khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.